Hey guys, it's Eddie, and welcome to your Thursday morning motivational message. By the way, my name's Eddie, and I've got a testimony.
How you guys doing? My name's Anibal, and I got a testimony.
All right, and the reason why I got my friend Anibal here is because the next topic is about adultery, and I'm not really an expert on it. And when I heard him explain it, man, this guy is good. He's going places. He might even be a pastor someday. So
Amen.
we are going to continue our series on the Sermon on the Mount, Matthew chapter 5, starting at verse 27. You have heard the commandment that says you must not commit adultery, but I say anyone who even looks at a woman with lust has already committed adultery with her in his heart. So if your eye, even your good eye, causes you to lust, gouge it out and throw it away. It is better for you to lose one part of your body than for your whole body to be thrown into hell. And if your hand, even your stronger hand, causes you to sin, cut it off and throw it away. It is better for you to lose one part of your body than for your whole body to be thrown into hell. All right, Amble, can you break this verse down for everybody?
Yeah, let's do it. So, when we study the book of Matthew, chapter 5, and we're talking about teaching about adultery, we know that Jesus spoke with authority, right? And he has said, You have heard the commandment that says, You must not commit adultery. But I say, anyone who even looks at a woman with lust has already committed adultery with her in his heart. So when I read just that first part of scripture, right, which is 27 and 28, we heard that there is a new commandment that was given, right? There is a new commandment to adultery. Before it was, you must not commit adultery. Now Jesus is emphasizing that even if you look at a woman lustfully, you have already committed adultery in your heart. And what that says to me is that adultery doesn't just begin in the eyes, it begins in the crevices of your heart. So when we look at the idea of what Jesus is emphasizing, what he's telling us is you have to check your heart posture, because oftentimes wherever your heart resides is what you're going to usually gaze at. And we know that scripture says that the eyes are a lamp to our soul. They're the entryway to our soul. So often wherever our eyes travel is because our heart is still conditioned in ways that let us look at things that are not worthy or going to give us any benefit. So we have to make sure that we have to check our heart. And when I read that it says, if your eye, even your good eye, causes you to lust, gouge it out and throw it away. For it is better for you to lose one part of your body than for your whole body to be thrown into hell. And if your hand, even stronger hand, causes you to sin, cut it off and throw it away. It is better for you to lose one part of your body than for your whole body to be thrown into hell. When Jesus is saying this, he's not emphasizing the fact to literally cut off your body, parts of your body. But what he's saying is a metaphor to say, turn yourself from the source of sin that so easily ensnares us. We have something that so easily gets us to the things that we desire, and we have to remove ourselves from that thing that gets us there. So what he's saying is you have to take the initiative, and you have to be real with what easily gets you to the places that no longer resides where Christ resides. That's what I get from when I read this.
No wonder why I called this guy in. This guy is great. But when we were discussing about making the video, you're talking about how a woman would get stoned for committing adultery. You want to elaborate on that?
Yeah, so back in the old covenant, we knew that when women or anyone was caught in the act of adultery, that the law commanded us to stone them to death, right? These were the laws that were given to Moses back when he was given these commandments, right? But there was a time where a woman, the Pharisees, had caught a woman in the act of adultery. And what they did was they had grabbed this woman, held her hostage, and had placed her in the presence of Jesus. And what they were doing was testing Jesus' authority, right? His obeyment to the law, right? They were trying to see if he was going to obey what Moses had left behind. But because Jesus was setting a new covenant with us and was establishing his authority, what he had told the Pharisees was, anyone who has not sinned, be the one to throw the first stone. And what that did was it made sure and it kept everybody in check. And what it did was it made everybody realize that there was nobody there within that arena that has ever went without sin besides Jesus. So Jesus, while saying this, drew a line in the sand and said, be the first to throw the stone, whoever has not sinned. And because they realized that they were just as bad, they turned away and walked away. And what Jesus had then told the lady was, you are now forgiven. Go and sin no more. So that is the grace and the mercy that we're given by Jesus, right? and we received that only through Jesus. So when I talk to you about the fact that this woman was caught in adultery, right, and now we're reading about adultery, we see that a lot of these things start at the crevices of our heart. But we also see that Jesus's heart was at good posture with this woman, that despite the fact that she was caught in it, she was able to be forgiven, and she was no better than anybody there. Nobody was there that was better than her. So everybody was just as equal. And we knew that in that moment, because Jesus had forgave her and said, go and sin no more, that there was mercy and grace with him throughout that process.
One more question for you, Anibal. What is the one thing that we should take out of everything you've explained so far?
You guys have heard me say so much throughout this video, but if there's anything that I would want for you guys to take from this video, is to present your hearts to Christ daily. We know that we have to renew our hearts constantly, because our hearts can also be deceitful. And oftentimes when we don't present our hearts to God, we allow evil desires to get in the crevices of our hearts, which then leads to a lot of lustful desires and just things that don't obey and honor God. So what I would say, if you have anything to take out of this video, is to constantly present your heart to God, give your heart to God, so God can then fill you with the things that he would want to fill you, that would then glorify your life, would glorify the will that he has over your life. So check your heart posture, present yourself daily to God, and honor God with all that you do. And the only way to do that is to present your heart, because we know that a lot of the things that we do flow from the abundance of our heart. So if you check your heart, your life will also flow from it.
Awesome. And we are going to conclude our video with the same way we started. Matthew chapter 5, verse 27 to 30. You have heard the commandment that says you must not commit adultery. But I say, anyone who even looks at a woman with lust has already committed adultery with her in his heart. So if your eye, even your good eye, causes you to lust, gouge it out and throw it away. It is better for you to lose one part of your body than for your whole body to be thrown into hell. And if your hand, even your strong hand, causes you to sin, cut it off and throw it away. It is better for you to lose one part of your body than for your whole body to be thrown into hell. All right. God bless you. Hope you enjoyed your Thursday morning motivational message, and
Peace.
Peace.